So like, I just be wondering, do older women give younger women advice? And like, if so, your opinion, like, what kind of advice do older women or experienced women tell the young women? Cause I'm seeing certain activity go on, or I hear what's being said, or looking at different social media posts, or things of that nature. And I don't know, man. I just be wondering because
I would say that it's somewhat duplicated because, from your experience, from a man's perspective to a woman's perspective, it can be somewhat duplicated to where it's who's in your circle. So if you even have a lot of younger women around you to kind of peep them to game or give them advice or help them along their paths. So obviously, who's in your circle plays a factor. And this generation is just different. So, of course, for me, we didn't grow up with like all this social media and things of that nature. We really were just out here figuring life out on our own. Right. And I think a lot of times, because we're still figuring out life, it might make you shy away from even giving advice to someone younger because you're still on the pursuit of trying to get it right yourself.
Right.
So, yeah, I do think that plays a big role in it because, like I said, when you're trying to get your shit together yourself, like, how much can you really, really help somebody else?
Right. And
when they're younger.
And I don't want to make it like help, like, what I'm saying, like a younger person need help, like, they doing bad, or just they making wrong decisions, or just they just not, in going in the right direction. I'm like, that's pretty much just, learning to be an adult, or, coming to your own, learning who you are, coming into your own type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like, let's say, okay, some of the advice I tell my nephews, or maybe like my niggas kids, or what I'm saying, something like that, somebody that's close, one thing I always tell them is, what I'm saying, realize who you are, what you are, and what you want to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just, that's just some simple, just simple little game. Of course, a nigga can go more in depth, but I might see a younger male on a certain path already, and maybe they just on a path that where they convinced, or they just in a mode, what I'm saying, might be into sports, might be into gang shit, it varies. But like, I just feel like in this society these days, I just don't be seeing or hearing, cause it's a lot to see, lot to hear. Like you said, this generation, it's a lot of things are put in the forefront, in your face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're consumed by what's already in front of them. So you got this opinion, that opinion, this opinion, that opinion, right?
Right.
Recently, I was in a situation where I was in a training class with a lot of younger girls. I'm talking about very young.
What was the conversation? If you can remember.
Well, I mean, the conversation
amongst themselves. If you weren't talking to them, I don't know, but
like baby daddy stuff. They still talking about fighting, like really young girl stuff.
Right.
Unfortunately, some of them were dealing with some pressing matters of having to make decisions on if they're gonna have an abortion or not. Like, I'm just saying, like, just some real wild stuff.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, of course, like, I'm not no nigga that's, be up under a rock type of thing. I be out here, or
Yeah.
and not to cut you off because I want you to hold your spot, but I'm just saying like I hear like whenever I do come across a younger women, or it might be at the store, might be online, might be I don't really work around too many women, but previous employment, I have, and just like some of these younger women or women in general, period, man, be going through so much shit, man.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it just be wild stuff they going through. And
It's
at
like,
that age, I
God
was
damn.
not going through none of that.
You know what I mean? They be going through some shit, and I would just be like, damn, well, how did that happen? But
Well, it's really they don't have no child. It's just like y'all done grown up way too fast. You got way too many adult responsibilities, and you're having to make decisions
on your own with no help.
Still with a child's mindset.
Right.
You're not ready for this stuff.
No help at all, no guidance, and that's part of the reason why I feel like older women ain't schooling the younger women. Like, my opinion, like, I'm not a woman. I ain't gonna confirm or just feel like, hey, this is exactly what's going on, But I'm telling you from what I see, and I ain't no dumb nigga, I ain't no slow nigga. I know exactly what I'm seeing and hearing out here. You know what I'm saying? So, like.
But yeah, a lot of life stuff, like losing, family members and friends and like boyfriends dying, like real life stuff that I was not experiencing at 22 and 23 years old. Like, this is how young we're talking.
Right.
And you have to be careful. So, of course, you can't just be throwing your opinion out on everybody. Sometimes it's good to just listen.
Sit back and listen.
I have learned that when you just listen, people are more open to talk to you. And then at that moment, if I feel like you are wanting some advice or just wanting information on, how to navigate, I mean, I can only give you information based on your experience. But you do have to just be careful with just throwing out how you feel about something on somebody else's situation, because you honestly don't know everything that they've gone through. It's real surface level. They may be telling you, but it's still surface level.
Right. It may not all be true. They might be withholding, certain information, but yeah, for the most part,
I'm very observant and I'm a listen.
Right.
And if necessary, yes, I will impart some type of wisdom or just, a lot of things that I might say to people. Stuff that I stick true to this day is obviously you can't control everything. Worry about what you can control and focus on that. A lot of the stuff that they was talking about was stuff that they cannot control.
Right.
And you upset about it and you mad about it and you letting it invoke like negative emotions on you. You got to learn how to fuel that to something else. Like, why be mad about a text message or something petty or something that don't even matter? Oh, he left the light switch on. Like, they be really mad about stuff.
Right. Yeah, I did.
And I be like, girl, is you okay? Like, it's not that serious.
Man, it really is, dude. It really is. And
it really be serious for them.
For them, yeah, for sure. And like, damn, I had a train of thought. I had something I was finna say. Hold on, real quick.
No, you good.
Fuck, I hate when I do that.
Well, one thing I can say about one of the young ladies that I was dealing with in this particular training class that I was in, she was just like, I appreciate something about you so much. She was just like, if you know something, you know it, and if you don't know it, you're gonna keep it 100 and say you don't know it. She said, I appreciate that. She said, there's a lot of people that be out here just
saying shit
like they know everything, they got it out. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, now I got my train of thought back. What I was finna say is like, and this go for men too, but I know it's very like serious for women, I think. Like, the things you was doing, like teens, 20s, like you can't afford to make those mistakes in 30s and 40s. You know,
No.
and I think that's younger women should definitely know. Like, cause like just I'm a nigga that got game. I know game. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like when I see an action take place, that action from that person, whoever that person is, it automatically tell me something.
Yeah.
You know, or
Absolutely.
or when I hear you say something, that tell me something. When you explain a train of thought to me or express a train of thought to me, that like that tells me something. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I do come amongst younger women, versus experience, I I see a lot of women making, and men too.
Yeah.
But I just think the consequences are more drastic for women. I think men can kind of overcome shit, or like, you know, they got a better, um, like they can recoup better than a woman, or like they can bounce back. Cause like women got kids and this and that. Like,
Yeah.
and men do too. But like men just live a different life where they can really change, or get it together at a later age, versus a woman kind of gotta do it while she younger. She gotta make good decisions when she younger, so when she do get a little older, it don't those decisions don't affect her later. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that make sense, or is that accurate in your opinion?
Not necessarily. I know a lot of young people who might maybe, and I'm talking about women, who might not have the cookie cutter start or whatever, but it's really about your mindset.
Right.
I think that is on both sides of the spectrum, whether you're a man or woman. It's your mindset of how you bounce back from those things, and how you
what you're
choose to
going through.
overcome the situation.
Yeah, and what you're
It
going
can
through.
seem a lot harder for a woman. It can seem that way, of course, but I mean, we handle stuff with stride. Like, it's a lot of stuff that we balance. We're natural multitaskers. Like, we can do a lot of stuff.
Right. Most
if that was
definitely.
the case, then
Most
single
definitely.
motherhood would not be working.
Right. I mean, that's another topic for another day, but we on something different right now. But yeah, let's just stay on younger women versus the experience. But you are definitely right. Women can overcome and do a multitude of things. Like, I'm not denying that whatsoever. But I just think, okay, my opinion. This let me explain what I just said a little bit better, and maybe I ain't trying to get you to totally agree with me, but maybe let me say it a different way, and maybe it'll get a different result. But okay, you ever heard like you ever heard of like when a man turned 30, he just not really coming into his own, and like versus like when a woman turns like 30, they kind of, I ain't gonna say declining, but like she's like getting older or more experienced or more settled. She ain't young and vibrant and out there no more type of thing.
No, I don't get that at all.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right.
No. I mean, for me, no.
For you, yeah, for sure.
No, definitely not. I definitely think I have leveled up, gained a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more understanding on life the older and then I'm getting, in all aspects.
Right.
Physical, mental, like, so yeah. I mean, it's a lot of stuff you can get away with when you're younger, but I feel like you're really starting to live once you get into your 30s.
Okay.
And 40s.
Okay.
Because you done all the little girl stuff. Now it's time to really boss up, right?
Yeah. For sure. Us men and women, it goes like that. Okay, let me switch it up real quick. What what advice would you give a younger woman? Like, would you like what would you tell a young female about, let's say, 18 to 21 or 18 to 24, where they got they life in they it's their world. When you that age and you're a woman, it's pretty much your world, or it can be. You know what I'm saying?
If I could give some pieces of advice, I would say focus on yourself, and every decision that you make matters, and be present in the life that you're living. That's what I would say.
Right.
But just focus on you, because
Right.
you're not gonna get them years back.
Right. Well, we do sort of agree. Now that you said that, and going back to what I said, like those decisions you make when it's early, it does affect you late, and that's part of what I was trying to get at. Like, cause when the woman's doing great, I feel like it's better for the culture. It's better for it's better for the tribe. You know what I'm saying? And not to say who is more important, woman or man, or this or that, but I just feel like it's a lot of shit out here that I don't know. It's a lot of shit out here that if you believe in it, then it's gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying? If you go around in this society, this world, and you believe certain things, or you believe in certain things, and it's not the right things, or it's the wrong information, like that can hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you gotta align yourself with the right stuff, or yeah, it can be detrimental for sure.
So if see, like, I try to put myself in the mind frame of like, see, I got a son, so it's kind of hard to get a real actual vibe from a female, far as like a child. Like if I had if I had a daughter, I would kind of understand and say shit differently to her. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a lot of shit I will tell her, far as what goes on out here. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of shit that you can. It's a lot of avenues to tell. It's a lot of topics and it's a lot of boxes to check. That you can school somebody on. It can be relationships. It can be career. Career education. It could be just just real life things, womanhood, motherhood. It's a lot of
Yeah.
what to do in this situation, what to do in that situation. So it's a lot of
Yeah.
categories.
I will
to hit
say
on.
this: I do respect a lot of the young ladies that I have come into to get to know, because, like I said, they deal with so much at a young age. I don't know if I would have been strong enough to handle all the stuff that they was handling at that age, because I was just different. So even though they are experiencing a lot of
Overexposure.
very older exposure, very adult decisions at that age, a lot of them seem to be handling pretty well. So I mean, I can only respect people who are making the most out of all their situation, no matter what it is. Yeah, I just know I was very different at that age. Like, it was, I mean, I was just different. I just had a different
Right.
mindset.
Shit was different, period.
Those type of adult things.
Right, shit was different, period. For us, we still experience grown up shit, but like I said, these days everything is right in your face. We get to see this shit. You know what I'm saying? Versus hear about it or just not be known at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you yourself, you know your story. You know where you came, where you going. you know, your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just to throw something out there, like, um, and don't answer this to me, but answer this to yourself, and then answer my question. Um, like, you know the things you did when you was younger that maybe was a mistake, or maybe you wouldn't have done it that way, or maybe you would have did something different, or maybe you just thought you was doing it and you got humbled. Whatever the case,
Uh-huh.
um, get a situation like that, and then tell me what you would tell a younger woman that's in that same position, or went through that, or finna go through that.
Hmm. Hold on, I think about it.
Yeah, yeah, do that. You know, and I asked that question because I be wanting to know. I'm a I feel like I'm a good question asker.
Is that right?
You know what I'm saying? When like for real, like asking questions is important to me. You know, and what you ask. You know, so like sometimes I when I am encountering females, you know, I just ask shit. You know, so like
I don't think I would. Here's the thing. I don't think I would change it. So a lot of the decisions that I made, sometimes you do have to go through that mess so that you can really come on the other side and be like, I don't know. It's a teachable moment.
right.
So, and me and some of my friends were just talking about like our lives and what we've been through, or just the moments that we had. I'm like, girl, remember this, remember that, and yeah, that could have all went so bad. But if you don't have those experiences, you can't learn from them and you can't level up from them. So,
If you
I'm
don't
not
got one,
comfortable.
I'll throw one out there.
What?
Okay. What would you tell a younger female, you know, 18 to 21 or 18 to 24, yada yada? Um, what would you tell her about men? Like, should she go out here and date? Should she be out? Should she go out here and be promiscuous? Should she go get her OnlyFans? Should she cater her life to get married? What you went through that. You went through those decisions and those circumstances. So what would you tell a younger girl about the dating life, or with men, or her whole phase? Should she have one? Just things of that nature.
Absolutely.
What game would you give a younger woman for that?
Okay, so first of all, I can't judge nobody for what they do.
Right.
And it's so crazy because we were just talking about this. I mean, I'm going to tell you to live life, but I'm going to tell you to be careful.
Right.
That's my main thing. Just be careful. I can't judge the decisions that you make because I don't want nobody judging mine, right?
Right.
But in everything you do, yes, live life, date, travel, do all the things, but be careful in the decisions that you're making. And trust your intuition if something is off. We've all had those moments where we're like, maybe I shouldn't go here. Maybe I shouldn't date this person. Or maybe I shouldn't really be talking to him. Like, we know. We all have that little gnawing feeling. Trust it. It's telling you that for a reason. The universe is protecting you for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times we just ignore it, and then we be looking back like, I should have known. Something was telling me this wasn't going to work out. And you still do it. So that is like my biggest advice, is to trust those moments where you don't trust it and get the hell away from there. Because if I could go back, yeah, there were some situations where I could have been like, I shouldn't have been there. Or I shouldn't have been involved with this person. And I mean, it is what it is now, but
right.
It's to say, well, you know better, you do better, but our intuition as women tells us.
Is the intuition different when it's younger, or is it the same? Like you're a mature, experienced woman now. Like what was your intuition like when you were not that?
It was about the same.
About the same.
I mean, it's more defined now. So now I know stuff out the gate. But even when I was younger, I knew, like, oh, this is not the best situation.
Right.
And you'll stay in something knowing better.
or you know.
When you know better, you do better. So your own self is telling you this is where you don't need to be.
Correct.
So a lot of times we just ignore it, thinking that, oh, I'm just in my head, or that's just crazy. But no, then once it all said and done, you look back on it and you be like, something told me this wasn't going to work out, or this person wasn't going to be right. And it's just trust yourself. We get caught up in the emotion of everything, and we don't want to trust ourselves. So
right.
That's what I was saying.
I don't I don't know exactly what you are geared or looking to do. I don't know what your let's say your preference or just you know what your train of thought is on this particular, you know, subject matter. But would you, well, I know you're who you are now, and then it was the person you used to be, or the younger you. Would you tell a younger female, 18 to 24, 18 to 21 type thing, would you tell them to focus on marriage early or later, or what would you say as far as that?
I have no thoughts.
And marriage and children, marriage and children, or like, you know what I'm saying, maybe they go both hand in hand, depending on who you are or how you look at life. But what would you tell a younger woman? Far as
okay,
that.
So for me, this is just speaking on me personally.
Right.
I had no intentions on having kids till I was like 40. When I got pregnant, even my own auntie called me and was just like, Mallory, what happened? I was like, I know, I was not supposed to do this. I'm 10 years ahead of my flight because I had plans.
Right.
And so I can only speak to me, because children is a huge sacrifice.
Or it can be just marriage, you know, either or. Like to me, depending on who you are, they go hand in hand. Some people is different, you know.
Yeah, my thoughts on marriage have totally changed.
Okay, well, let's just stick to children.
Yeah. I mean, just be prepared for the sacrifice. And everything comes back. Marriage is a sacrifice, and children is a sacrifice. So be prepared to sacrifice a huge part of yourself for somebody else. If you are selfish and you're not willing to sacrifice yourself for somebody else, I would suggest you not go down that path.
I did. Because it's definitely a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice. If you in a selfish mode, you just want to do this and do that, and I wouldn't put yourself in a situation where you're gonna have to worry and think about somebody else other than yourself. Which is nothing wrong with being selfish. I mean, we all get in our moments where we're just like, we only want to focus on us. So if you're in that mindset, again, don't do things that are going to cause you to have a child that you may not want to, or be married, or be in a situation that you're not ready for.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, some people are built for that life early. That is not me. And my thoughts on marriage particularly has changed. Not that I don't want it, but it's just changed.
And you say you had plans, because you said when you were younger, you didn't plan to have children till you were almost 40 or 40. That's what you said, correct?
Yeah, I didn't want to have kids till I was like 40 years old. So.
Is that your mindset, or does that work with majority women or younger women, period?
I don't know, because back in the day, a lot of people were having children younger. I mean, I have a lot of friends who started, having kids before me. But for me, I just knew, I saw the sacrifice that people had to make by having kids so young, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do all that."
Right. It's definitely
like, I still want to be able to travel here and go there, and if I want to pop over here to this acting class, I want to do that. And if I just want to be able to live without the expectation of having to care for another child. And I didn't want my parents in my business.
Yeah, because they definitely will be in your business if you're young.
They're definitely gonna be in your business. So it was just like, no, I don't even want to have to explain that part to them. So yeah, you just got. I mean, going back to every decision matters.
Yeah, definitely. Them same mistakes, them same bumps and bruises you take along the way when you in your teens or in your 20s, man, you definitely can't afford to, you know, take those same bumps and bruises, as you get older. You know what I'm saying? You feel them way more.
Yeah, absolutely.
You feel them way more. But that's the time. That's the time. To really, get out there and make your mistakes and learn some shit. But
absolutely, yeah.
But I wouldn't want to go into it expecting to make mistakes and expecting to fuck up, but it's just gonna happen along the way.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's going to happen. And so just be mindful of the decisions that you're making. Right. Because some people can get a little too free spirited when they're younger, and again, that can cause you a lot of problems.
Right.
And I'm not here to tell anybody what to do, but just be mindful. Because I have a lot of younger cousins. And I would like to say they saw the life that I lived, and it's just certain things that they did not do or say around me. So I did appreciate, the respect that they had for me.
Right.
And obviously what I was doing was imparting in them. Because they were willing to listen. So that's another thing. You got to be willing to listen. I don't know if some of the generation is willing to listen.
That's what I was going to ask. Is that the experienced woman learning to listen versus were you like that younger?
No, when I was younger, I had all the answers, but now it's just like, girl, shut up.
Is that common for young women? They think they got all the answers, but don't.
Absolutely. Right, we know stuff. We got the answers. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah, we know.
Is that a good mindset for a young woman?
No.
Would you tell a young woman that?
Yeah. Just be quiet. Just shut the fuck up. Yeah. Be quiet.
What exactly did you think you knew, but you realized you didn't? Give me an example. Or if you don't want to give a personal example, give me a universal woman example.
Let me see. I mean, I could speak to relationships. When I was younger, I thought I knew how to handle a relationship when I was younger.
Like what?
And I did not.
Like you thought you had a nigga wrapped around your finger, but realized you didn't.
Absolutely.
What'll make a woman feel like she got a nigga wrapped around her finger?
At
a young age, not at the experienced woman, because that woman she knows certain things, but the young woman.
Yeah. It's just the cockiness that you have, that you got it like that, and that he ain't going nowhere, and you can do whatever you want, say whatever you want. Oh, he like that. It's really a very insecure mindset to position yourself in a way to where you feel like you can do no wrong.
Right.
And you can't listen. You telling them what to do all the time. Like, it's like, girl, just please get somewhere to sit down. You really are getting on this man's nerves.
Right.
But no, we don't want to listen. And obviously, some of us think what we have between our legs is enough, and it's not.
Well, is I would say being an experienced man is I know being older, the thing between your legs is not at the top of the list. But the younger me or the young male me, it was.
Uh-huh.
Is it like that for women, younger women?
Yeah. It's like you just cocky. You just think you got it all. And no. I mean, we see it every day. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Right.
he still can leave. He still can stop messing with you. Like, none of that matters.
Right.
But it's the not listening part. That was probably the worst thing for me. Like, you couldn't tell me anything, and I didn't want to listen.
Well, let me see. When you say you couldn't tell me anything, could the guy tell you something? You just wasn't listening, or maybe your intuition telling you something, you just didn't listen?
No, the guy couldn't tell me anything.
Okay, the guy. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you think that's common amongst young? Cause I mean, like, to be honest, I think a woman's ego is humongous. Period.
Yeah.
It don't matter what age.
That's probably what it is. It's ego. Yeah, you just can't nobody tell you nothing.
And but don't get it twisted. It's a certain number of men with that same ego. You can't tell them shit, you know.
Yeah.
But I just think it's more common in women, or is the numbers are larger with women. Me as a man, I know every man's not confident like that. But as a woman, I'm not a woman, so I don't know. I'm just going off what I see. I see a lot of women, majority women are very, very confident, or I'm not gonna say confident, but like real big, humongous egos, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely don't have the ego anymore. But when I was younger, I did, and you couldn't tell me anything, and you know, you get a big head from time to time, especially when people are always gassing you up. But it's always that one person that'll pop that bubble.
Yeah, it can be. Yes, it usually be like that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's probably the main thing. Just be quiet, listen.
Okay. If you would have listened back then, what would have changed now?
If I would have listened back then,
or if you had this mind state younger, would that change anything anyway?
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I can't speak on. It would have changed the outcome of that situation, but yeah, had I been willing to just listen more, career-wise, I definitely probably would have been in a different place earlier on. Not to say that I'm in a bad place now, but just I would have been able to make some different decisions early on had I, just been able to listen and not think that I know it all.
Right.
So yeah, because again, not listening messes up decisions. Now you're chasing the clock to catch up on something that you could have already been successful at years ago.
Right. That clock.
Mm-hmm.
I hear a lot.
We all fight that clock. We all have our moments of like, oh, I ain't worried about it. I can do it at this age. But we all chasing the clock. We all have something that we want to obtain in a certain amount of time. And so, yeah, you said the things that you do in your younger years can definitely affect you when you get older.
Correct. And being that we in the age of overexposure, we see everything. Everything is at our fingertips, pretty much. Does that change the playing field? Like, do it make anything different just because you see it now? Like, we knew racism was been here since, that's another topic for another day, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But now we get to see George Floyd, or we get to see, countless number of acts of, racism. Now equate that to a younger woman or a younger yourself, when it's a lot of overexposure, like what part does that play? Do youngins got to change it up? Because the privacy is less. I know people got away with more shit back then than now. You know what I'm saying? Or people's business wasn't just out there back then versus now, type of thing.
Yeah, but I don't know. It taught us how to move. So even back then, even though your business wasn't out there as much, for some reason we still treated it like our business might be put out there. I don't know. We just moved differently. Now it just seems like everybody is just they okay with their stuff being exposed. I'm just still a little different when it comes to that regard.
Yeah, like me personally, I be trying to figure out these days. I be trying to figure out, is it anything a woman is ashamed of?
No, I mean,
I don't
no.
feel like it's nothing, or it's very far few in between. You know, I know I can vividly remember back in before this social media shit, you know, or whatever. You know, women used to be ashamed of certain things, or like, you know, they really cared about certain shit, certain actions that they took.
Yeah.
I can honestly say that. And I don't think that's the case anymore. What do you think?
I don't know. That's more of a personal thing. So
Okay.
Obviously, I can't lump all the women into what they are not ashamed of. We all have our moments where we're like, "Ooh, girl, you should not have done that. That was
Right.
not a good thing." I don't know. I just think people are just living a lot more unapologetic these days. Like, who cares?
Is that a good idea? Your opinion? Young or experienced, is that a good idea to just live unapologetically, not care about
like,
shit?
Like, what are you gonna do about it? It's my life. It's my decisions, right? Now, unless I'm inflicting harm upon you,
right.
That's a different thing.
Right.
But again, we all have our own path. Everybody's path is not a linear path. Sometimes, you know, it's ebbs and flows to it. So,
right. Definitely.
Whatever's going on with you is going on with you.
Definitely.
Just be mindful of them decisions because they do matter.
100%.
They matter.
And before we wrap this up, or before we, you know, we might need to do another, you know, another just back and forth on this, but just, you know, speak to a young woman on the rise, on the come up. Her hopes and her expectations are high. She's optimistic. She's ready for the world. What would you tell her?
Keep that drive. Obviously, what's in you is for you, and the world needs it. We all have our special niche, and so, you know, keep pursuing it. Build the right people around you. You can't do it by yourself. That's one thing I wish somebody would have told me a long time ago. Even though it's your vision, it's your dream, you're still going to need, you know, the right circle of people around you to see it through. But yeah, just don't stop. Whatever you do, don't stop, because there's a reason why you have this vision, you have this dream, you have this aspiration. It was given to you for a reason, so just don't stop.
Okay, I like that. I fuck with that. And
That is.
And I fuck with you. You already know that.
Yes.